Is there something about yourself that you want to change? Is there an aspect of your personal growth that you want to enhance? There might be something that you currently do that you don't like. It may be damaging to you, it may be damaging to your loved ones, it might be affecting your relationships or your performance at work. There may be something that you want to change about yourself, but you just don't know where to begin. Well, the one thing I always say is that any change when it comes to your personal growth can only really begin with self awareness, being aware of not only what the issue is, but exactly what impact it's having and how you can best manage it. So, I want to share in this video 3 ways in which you can improve your self awareness. And I'm going to start with something called the Johari window. So, I'm going to show you in a minute exactly what that looks like. But it's essentially a table with 4 different sections, and it's concerned with what you know about yourself, what you don't know about yourself, and what others either do or don't know about you. And it's kind of like in a matrix style. So the idea is you have an understanding of your personality traits, maybe the way you come across to other people, and then maybe things that you don't know about yourself yet and that others may not know about you yet, but they will emerge with time. So the idea is as you start making changes, as you start looking to improve the way that you relate to others, maybe that's something you want to focus on, the Johari window will update and evolve, and you'll get to see the progression of exactly how you've changed and what you've yet to change too. So I'm going to show you now an example of what that looks like. So this is an example of the Johari window, which I've just kind of quickly created on my computer, but I've got this information online. So I just went, Googled it, and I found this link, which has the template up here and a list of adjectives that you can use to describe yourself if you struggle to think of them. But you can just put that Johari window in Google and it will come up. I'm going to go back to my template. So as you can see, I've started with an example of things. So in the first box, what you know about yourself and what others know about you. So this is the open area. So this could, I've just put here, caring, calm, shy. So I consider myself to be a very caring and calm person, and others have told that to me as well. And of course, they've said I'm shy, and I consider to myself to be shy. So that's just an example of something that's an open area, so everyone knows about it. The next box along is the blind spot. So this is what others know about you, but you don't know about yourself. So in this case, while it's quite obvious that I'm caring, calm, and shy, what others have said about me is that I am tense, I'm nervous, but I'm friendly. So these are things I hadn't considered about myself. So I can get quite tense. I didn't realize that. Maybe that explains why I'm quite shy. I get quite nervous. Again, maybe that's why I tend not to speak first. That's probably why I appear calm. But I am friendly, and that kind of shows through when I care about someone. So again, they kind of relate. But this is the box where you kind of fill out what you didn't know about yourself, but what others have kind of noticed about you. Then we move on to the next bit. So this is what you know about yourself, but others do not know about you. So this is kind of the hidden area. So what I know about myself, but others don't, is that I'm actually quite witty. I can be spontaneous, and I'm actually quite a complicated person. You know, people see me as quite timid, shy, calm, but actually there's a lot more to me than people think. And again, you can kind of put down what, it doesn't have to be this, of course. It can be any of the adjectives that you can see on this page, and you can fill out what you think best represents you. And then the final box is the not known to self. So this one is where things you do not know about yourself and things that others don't know about you. So this is the box that has the potential to be explored and opened up. Now, of course, if you don't know it and others don't know it, you can't really fill it out. But this is what comes out through feedback. This is what usually comes out through feedback after you've done something that's out of your comfort zone or that's quite spontaneous. So maybe you undertake a new adventure or a new activity, you've never done it before, and you kind of surprise people that you've done this thing, you've learned something about yourself, and as a result, others have learned that about you. So really, in order to explore this box, you do have to venture outside of your comfort zone,
to see what other things are part of your personality. It could be any of these things, it could be a whole lot more. So that is, in summary, the Johari window.
The second way to improve your self awareness is to do journaling. This is something I recommend to my clients a lot of the time, not only because it's actually a very grounding thing to do, is a great way to provide clarity to yourself. If you're having a lot of thoughts that are running around in your head, particularly if those thoughts are causing anxiety, then journaling is very effective because you are essentially unpacking everything that's happening in your mind. You're taking it out. So you're focusing rather than inside feeling overwhelmed, you're focusing it out, whether it's on a piece of paper or on a computer. You're essentially writing down what thoughts you're having, how you're feeling, and unpacking what's going on. It might be that there's a particular situation where you get into an argument with this a particular person a lot of the time. You don't like the things that they say. You don't like the way that you react to it. It could be that you get angry and it's really impacting how you're, you know, what people think of you. It could be about anything. Essentially, what you're doing is you are writing about the situation that you're concerned about. You're unpacking exactly what happened, how you're reacting, how other people are treating you, how you're feeling, and you get to see exactly what's going on and where some changes might be needed. So not only is it quite a therapeutic thing to do, it's a great way to increase your self-esteem. And I'm going to show you an example of that now.
So this is just a rough template of a journal that I've put together, and I've kind of typed it up already just to save time. But you can see today is Monday. I put the journal for today. This heading here, I've put situations, thoughts, feelings, actions, and changes. So this is how I personally structure my journal. I talk about if there's a particular situation that I want to assess and I want to act differently, then I think through, okay, let me try and organize my thoughts better. And I do cover this in a previous video I did on the helicopter view. So you can click the link if you want to watch that video. But basically, I write about the situation. So in this case, I got into an argument with my partner. I slammed the door and I threw a chair. So then I go on to, all right, so that's the situation that I want to change. What thoughts was I having? Well, I think my partner hates me. They don't respect me or appreciate what I do. I feel taken advantage of. And you can expand this as much as you want, but I've kind of provided a summary just so you get the idea of how a journaling process works. So you have your thoughts there. And then next you go on to how you felt. Well, I felt anger, rage, I feel inadequate, I feel frustrated, just upset, overwhelmed. Essentially, you are piecing together your thoughts, your feelings, and then you can even go a step further if you want and try and link up how each of those thoughts impacts your feelings. And then you go on to what actions you took. So I shout at my partner, I interrupt her constantly, I can become verbally abusive in some occasions, I can storm off, I start hitting the walls, slamming doors, throwing objects across the room. So it really shows just how much rage and anger is impacting you in this situation. So you can see just how easily the anger and rage take over. It might be the actions are kind of showing that you're frustrated, but you're just unable to put it into words. So then you realize, then you kind of list down, all right, so that's what happened in a nutshell. Um, what are the changes I want to make? So I've listed what I don't want to do and what I want to do. So I no longer want to show my rage. You might be you've reached a point where you're really sick and tired of showing your rage, letting it overwhelm you. So I no longer want to show my rage. I don't want to interrupt my partner, and I don't want to feel inadequate about myself, especially when I'm with her. So these are the things you may no longer want. Now you've got to think through what you do want. So I want to be able to listen to my partner without becoming so reactive. I want to avoid having these arguments in the first place. I just want to learn how I can talk through things in a calm way with her. And overall, I want to improve my relationship, especially when I'm at points when I feel quite stressed. So, again, this is an example of you writing down and getting out from your own mind and putting it on paper exactly what happened, how you reacted, and what changes you want to make.
And the final way of improving your self awareness is to meditate. Now, meditation, a lot of people talk about it as a way to ground yourself, to kind of remove yourself from your thoughts and your anxiety. And indeed, that's the main purpose of meditation. But one of the things that is not really spoken about with meditation is it can be used as a tool to improve self-awareness, particularly introspective self-awareness. So that's essentially when you're focusing on your internal state. It might be that you're focusing on one of your particular senses, so you might want to close your eyes and just like hear the furthest sound you can. So you're just listening and putting all of your attention into hearing that further sound. So again, it's the way you recall your attention and gather your attention and harness it into one specific thing. Now, in terms of self-awareness, the meditation comes when you can just sit with your feelings. So let's say there's a situation where you're feeling quite distressed, quite anxious, you might be even feeling overwhelmed. If you feel able to, just sit with that feeling for a minute. Just sit with it, because the idea is you get to understand and really appreciate just how that feeling sits in your body. Now, it might be that you have like a default response that you resort to whenever you feel, let's say, angry. You're feeling angry, you feel the burn in your throat, you feel your blood, your heart pumping, your blood racing. You just want to fight, you just want to scream, smash the door, whatever it is. Now, that might be the default response, in which case it's probably too late because that anger is really built up to the point where you're going to take action. So the reason you sit with the feelings to understand what that anger feels like is so instead of the next time that happens, you've essentially left it too late where that anger is built up. You will start to notice the feeling instead of the thoughts and the rage that's really present. You start to notice the initial feeling, like I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I've noticed my heart starting to pump faster. I think this is going to lead to something. And then you can take action earlier to prevent that response. And the idea is not only will it help you to be aware of when you're next going to be angry and get to that state, it also helps you to become more resilient because you're understanding what the feeling is, you're understanding how it feels and sits inside of you, and you kind of build a relationship with it. But to the point where you're like, aha, I'm getting angry, I'm going to do something, go for a walk, whatever it is, to cool off and prevent yourself from getting into that state. And it could be anger, it could be anxiety, it could be anything. So meditation is a really valuable tool. Now, if you meditate and journal on a consistent basis, you are essentially building a very strong foundation of self-awareness that's going to really enable you and support you to make positive changes in the future term. So just to summarize, the Johari window, I probably recommend doing the Johari window maybe once a month. I wouldn't do it any more frequently because you're probably not going to notice many changes, but do it as you feel is needed. So Johari window is a useful tool. Journaling, I do that at least every week. Is very helpful for self-awareness and for therapeutic reasons, and also meditation. Thanks for watching.